Hi, everybody. We're here with our number 3 Gold Star School. And tonight we're going to be learning about booking and lead generating. So, some really great ideas coming tonight. Booking is the lifeline of our business because without bookings, you're running out of business, right? And one thing that I am proud to say is that I really haven't had to do too much lead generating because I became a master at booking from bookings. And it kind of scared me to warm chatter, but I know that's for a lot of people. Like a lot of people really love doing that. And so you don't have to be scared of it. And tonight we're going to talk a little bit about how to do that and how to do facial boxes, how to use your social media, using the new product launch for getting bookings as well, and some other ideas, including the 21-day booking approach and how you should be using your messaging. Okay. But before we start with our guest speaker who just jumped on, hi, Amy. I was just telling them about you. I want to go through the 3 parts to messaging. So when you're messaging someone or you're calling somebody, there are 3 parts that you need to make sure that you're including. Number 1 is, what's your goal, or what is your intention behind reaching out to them? Like, do you have a goal of doing 30 faces this month, or have you been challenged to to get 30 opinions or 10 opinions or 5 opinions, or what is your goal? Okay. How can they help you with your goal? Okay. Number 2 is, what's in it for them? How are you going to reward them? Okay. What is in it for them? Are they going to get a special treat? Are they going to get a discount? Are they going to get free product? Like, what is in it for them? Okay. And then number 3 is a deadline. Be sure that you have a deadline, because if you don't have a deadline, then they're just going to keep hanging on and hanging on and hanging on and not ever get back to you, or you don't have a reason to really get back to them. Okay. So those 3 points you need to definitely have when you're working with booking, your goal, what's in it for them, and a deadline. Okay. Now we're going to jump right into lead generating. And Amy McCann is like, I don't even know. She's like the master, the master at lead generating through facial boxes. So Amy, I'm going to let you take it away and give you, 5 to 10 minutes, however long that you need, to share all the things about facial boxes.
Thank you, Jen. I literally just drove in the driveway from the school open house. So I was like, oh, I'm going to do my hair. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's 8 o'clock. Never mind. I'm just going to hop on. So thank you for having me. Okay. So I have been a consultant for a long time. And I remember when I was first starting out, that bookings were so intimidating to me. And I remember the mantra of, I'm a master booker. I'm a master booker. And I would say that all the time. And then I would pick up the phone and I would make my phone calls. And it just becomes one of those things where one day you realize, oh, I really am a master booker, because I could book anybody at any time, because that was something that I perfected since it was so intimidating. And so I love being able to book people. And when I moved here, I knew 3 people. And they were all related to me, and they were happy to have a facial with me, but they were not going to have a party for me. So I really needed to step out of my comfort zone and figure out what to do. So I really focused on lead generating a lot. And one of those ways is with facial boxes. So I really wish I could show you my facial boxes, but one of my consultants went and did all my facial boxes for me. And so my facial boxes are at the studio, but I will share pictures with Jen as soon as I can get them to you. And so I will let you know how I do it. So I have a few things that I do that are not generally how people do their facial boxes, but I am so great at problem solving that I figured if I do it this way, it actually eliminates some issues that I would have that were reoccurring. So that's why I do it a certain way only. Okay. That doesn't mean that you can do it the way you want to do it that works for you. I'm just going to tell you what I do that has worked very well for me. So I only go to places that have the clientele that I desire to facial. And so you want to think about people are spending money and what are they doing and where are they at spending money? And then does that mean that they have disposable income? Or is that a place where it's like super cheap? And so people who just have a little bit of income left over are going to go there to spend their money. So you want to think about that. Like, who are you going to be getting leads? Like, who are they and what are they going to be doing? So I choose very specific places to put in my facial boxes. You can put them in dentist office, chiropractors, restaurants, nail salons. I mean, like, the sky is the limit. So if you know of places that you have customers who own businesses, you want to start there. And so I just have little like mason jars, but they're plastic, and I order them on Amazon, and they are 16 of them for $24. You can do whatever you want. But to me, I like to have it small and compact and easy open top that I don't have to like create an opening for them to slide in. And so I just order those and they're all a uniform size. And plus, I get 16 at a time, so I can make them all at one time. All right, so I don't do glass because people get really iffy about that whenever you're asking to put them out. I don't do metal buckets because I just like the uniformity of having those mason jar, plastic mason jars. And but I've seen all sorts. I used to get them at the dollar store. There are the plastic vases. Maybe you've seen those. There's lots and lots of options. But I use the little plastic mason jars from Amazon. I also print out a flyer that I make on Canva, and I just choose one of their backgrounds that has a woman's face with like a mask already on it. And it has like some green palm leaves or something behind it. So on Canva, there's pro and then there's free. I always choose free, although for this month I have pro because I really, really, really wanted a graphic. So I paid for pro for 1 month, and I'm like stockpiling all of my graphics now so that I can cancel it in the end of August. But I just put on there, enter for a beauty experience and gift card giveaway. And so that's kind of what it says at the top. And then at the bottom, it says 60-minute beauty experience plus $20 gift card. And then it says must be over 18. I do make that in bold letters because I want them to see that. And then I just make that on a postcard size. And so I like to use bright, big, bold colors because I want it to be attractive, but I don't want it to be tacky because I want it to look professional, but I want it to be attractive and inviting. And so that's why I use that graphic that I use. And then the way that I have figured out how to use the least amount of supplies on my facial box is that I print out, okay, now I have to think how I want to say it. So on a sheet of paper, when you turn it on the side this way, right? And so I do like a 5x7 and a 5x7. So think about your page laid out that way. So you'd have two 5x7 side by side. And so the postcard is at the top. And then, so I print two postcards at the top. Does that make sense? So let me see if I have a piece of paper to show you. So the paper would be printed this way, and the top half would be the postcard, right? And so the bottom half would be blank. All right. So this is like so important how I do this. And I'm gonna have to put down my phone because I didn't have time to get my my light set up so that it would hold it. So hold on. So then I cut it down the middle so that I have two of the 5x7 sides, right? And just pretend the top half of this is printed. And then, so you're looking at the printed side, right? I fold it this way and I make four of them, all right? So then when I lay them out, I'm gonna switch this so you can see how I'm gonna lay it out on my lamination page. Does it let me switch the view? Oh, there it is. Okay, So then I lay it out so that I would have, my ceiling fan's going to blow them away, so that I would have these set up on my lamination page like that. And then I would have them set up on this side. So there would be 4 on a page. Does that make sense? Nod for me, Jen, if that makes sense to you. And if it doesn't, tell me. Okay. So I would have 4 of those, but you want to have this part, this folded or this open top here and the folded in the middle. And the same thing when you do on this side, you want to have the open part here and the folded in the middle. So when I have it set up on my lamination page, then I have it folded, sides go in the middle, and it's open at the top. And it runs through the laminator, and now I have a pocket. And so when it comes out of the laminator, sometimes it'll overlap just a little bit, and I cut that off. But what happens is that I cut my 4 pieces, and now I have a pocket at the top, and that is where I put my slips for people to sign up. Okay. And so surprisingly, I cleaned my room and I don't have a glass sitting next to my bed. So this is my clear jar, and I just sticky glue dot thing it right here. The top is open. My slips go in there. I stick a ribbon behind there, and I have sorry, I don't know why I phone call just came through. So the sign is here, the pocket at the top with the sign up sheets, a ribbon with the pen, and I just buy pens at the dollar store. So like 10 pens come in a pack at the dollar store, although it's not $1 now, it's $1.25, whatever. And I tie it off. So does that make sense, Jen, to you? Awesome. I will send pictures, I promise. But that way you have that pocket at the top, and I put like 8 to 10 slips in there. I always put them in the bathroom. I don't ever put them out at the register. 1, generally a man pays. 2, a woman will not do it in front of other people. Yes, they will. Like 1 out of 10, where you might get all 10 that it was in the bathroom. So rarely will a woman do it out in the open, because she wonders what other people are thinking about her signing up for this giveaway, right? But in the bathroom, totally nobody's there to judge her. She's going to do whatever she wants in the bathroom, and she will sign up for your facial box in the bathroom. Now, that's not always possible. Let's say at like a dentist or a doctor's office or a chiropractor. So it is okay to put that in the lobby. But at restaurants and nail salons, all of those, I put them in the bathroom, and I get way more. And if they tell me that I can't put it in the bathroom, I don't put it out. That is how picky I am about it. And so I will tell you that you cannot put 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, or 6, or 7, or 8 out. You need to put like 12 out at a time. And there are times where it feels daunting to put out 2. It's just a mental game. You know, it's a mental game to do any networking sometimes. So I just tell myself, oh, I'm going to just go ask 5 places today. And how many do I get out? Well, sometimes you get out 1, and sometimes you get out 5, because the numbers are weird. But there are just days that everything that I touch is gold and nobody says no to me. And there are just days where nobody says yes. So it doesn't matter. I just put them out, but you have to have 12. I don't know what the 12 number is. I have had times where I have 10 out and I feel like I don't get very many names. I put 12 out and it's like, oh, look, I finally have some names. I tend to maintain at this point about 20 facial boxes out. And I will tell you a quick story about February. I was like, I got things to do. I got places to go. We got to get out 30 facial names, because I had been tracking my facial boxes. I knew how many names per box I was getting. I knew how many names I needed to book, because I knew my booking numbers, and I knew how many I had to have for getting the bookings that I wanted for March, and that was going to require 30 facial boxes to be out in the month of February. So I put them all out. Well, I had 12 out, so I had to put out 18. And that week, it was like a no week, like nothing I touched turned gold. So I had like 1 more facial box out. And I decided that next Tuesday, I had to get 17 facial boxes out, which is crazy. I've never put 17. And so I had to go out and have a mind game with myself. And I was like, I'm just putting out 1. I'm just going to put out one more. I'm just going to put out one more. And in like 5 hours, I put out 17 facial boxes. I was amazed. So what happened is that I had a lot that just really didn't follow through. So here's the other mind game of facial boxes. You're going to have a time where you walk in there and you have nobody signed up and all of your slips are gone. Oh, well, I just take a fresh one with me and I put it out and I pick up the old one and I go back to my truck and I figure out what's happening. What do I need to put on there? I put the name of the restaurant, what do I need to do to clean up that and restock it? So just switching them out. I'm not hanging out in the bathroom for very long. And then there'll be times where you go in for weeks after weeks after weeks and you have 3, 5, 6, 2, you have like names coming in. And then all of a sudden you don't have any names. And it's like, what happened? I don't know what happened. But don't give up. You got to check it. Like if you have 3 times that you go in and there's no names, then I would pull it. Then I would say we're going to move on to a new restaurant. There's going to be times you're going to walk in there and your facial box is gone. I don't even ask the owner a single question about it because they got way too much going on to worry about my little facial box, right? It cost me like $1.50 in order to make this facial box. I do not need for them to worry about my facial box. So I just go in and I put a new one. But if it keeps happening, then again, I'm going to pull it. I also really try to interact with the staff when I go in. Most of them recognize me at this point, and we just say, hi, how's it going? You've been busy, that things like that. One of the guys one of the places I go to, he always has like long conversations with me. So I just talk and walk because I don't have time to stop. I got to get these puppies done. So I just set aside time to do about 10 a week, and then I rotate through my 20 every other week. I don't go every week. If it's a holiday, I make sure and go before the holiday weekend. That's a huge one too. Okay, let me think if there's any other things. I've had some facial boxes out for five years. And so I had a facial box out for like 3 years. And one day I showed up and she goes, we don't want it anymore. I'm like, okay, you can't worry about it. You just got to move on. And it's not a big deal. So I hope I talked fast enough. And I'll open up for any questions if you guys have any questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Amy. Oh my goodness. Okay, that was a lot of information. So we may have some questions, trickle in. But yeah, we'll get the pictures from you. I actually have an album in our Facebook group that's called Gold Star School, and everything that we talk about, I just put it in there. So when you get me the pictures, I'll stick those in there so you guys can see what those look like. And yeah, any real quick questions? We got several other things to go over, so I know we need to just jump on if so. Awesome. Thank you so much, Amy. Appreciate you.
I have to go, but thank you guys so much for letting me come and chat.
Yeah, well, we'll see her again in the next few weeks, I'm sure.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so lead generating, one way is by facial boxes, okay? And they're definitely, they can generate a lot, and you can get some new people. So that's a great way to do that. The other way is through Facebook or social media. My favorite way using social media is by birthdays. Offering them the virtual birthday party for getting, for people that you don't know on social media, or, that you haven't ever facialed before. You might know them, but you haven't facialed them before. Or asking your customer, hey, can I reach out to your Facebook friends and offer them a pampering session? That is another way. We actually did this a few months ago at one of our local events, and we had several that said, yes, you can use my friends from Facebook. And so that is a great way too. It's just reaching out to your customers and saying, hey, I have a goal of 30 faces this month. Do you mind if I reach out to your Facebook friends and ask if they, would be willing to have a pampering session? Okay, so the other one, which I was talking about earlier, is the new product launch. And this is one that's really great for current customers. If it's been a while since you have reached out to your current customers, Mindy was talking about how she was personalizing the new products for her customers, and she's pre-sold a lot of products. And what I have done just in the past couple of weeks to get my bookings going is reaching out to my customers and asking for if they would want to have a new fall look. And I am blown away. I literally went from 0 bookings to, I think I have 15, and I just had 3 faces last week. So I am really excited about that because I'm meeting with my customers. And the other way that you can use this is with your customers is you can say, hey, would you like that free or 50% off? And they're going to be like, yeah, what do I need to do for that? And you can say, you just need to have 3 join our virtual glamour night, or 3 visit our pajama party. You know, who do you know that you can invite to our virtual pajama party? And I'm going to give you what you want at half price for the new fall colors. So that's an easy way too, is offering them some free product or discount on things they're already wanting, for that. Something else that I did a few years ago is I messaged my customers and said, I'm giving away $1,000 in free product. Who wants in? And I got 18 responses from that. And what I did is I gave $50 for free, $50 in free product, for anyone who had an appointment with 3 people, and anyone that had 6 people, they got $100 in free product. Now that did cost me $25 and $50, but this is the advantage. They're already customers. They already trust you. They already love the product. I was definitely selective in who I messaged. You're going to get great quality people. The people that they invite are going to trust you because they trusted you. And so you don't have to worry about the cancellation rate because you already know this person. You're going to be able to really get a little bit more coverage from that. And so the $25 and $50 that I spent was well worth that. Did I make as much as I could have? Probably not. But in the long run, I got my booking train going, and I had a lot of people that, that I got as new customers. So that was a really fun thing. I did 100 faces in 100 days, and I gave away $1,000 in product. And so that worked really great. I haven't done that in a while, but it was super fun. Sometimes you have to give out a little bit more just to get things moving. If you're sitting with a blank date book, then don't be afraid to give a little bit of your profit away just to get some things happening. There's times where I have to do that. I have to have this month, my hostess plan is this, or I'm only offering this for the rest of this month, or this month there was one hostess plan out there that was like the compact. Do you guys remember that? The filled compact you could get for the price of the date of the month. So if you held your appointment on October 1st, you could get a filled compact for $1. Or if you had it on the 10th, you could get it for $10. And so basically, maybe your first 10 days are already full of appointments. So you're only offering this for the, 10th through the 30th or whatever. But still, I mean, it's a really great deal for them. It might be less than half price. And so that's really fun. So you kind of just get creative. The 40 for 20 really works for me. I know that doesn't work for everybody, and this isn't really about hostess plans right now, but I think having a set hostess plan is going to help you in your rebooking. And like I was saying earlier, I became a master at rebooking. So one thing that I do for rebooking that I feel like is really, really important is in the very beginning, in my opening, which that's another training for another week. But the opening, I always say, at the end, I'm going to get with everyone and you're going to get opportunity to schedule your follow-up appointment. Okay. I say follow-up appointment or follow-up facial throughout the whole thing. They know at the end, I'm going to schedule a follow-up appointment with them. Okay. I am their beauty consultant. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to follow up on the product. I'm going to follow up and give them more opportunity to try everything. So you have to get sold on the follow-up appointment and why that's important. It's not that they're doing you a favor. You're actually doing your job by doing a follow-up appointment. Okay. So I always tell them at the very beginning, Mary Kay allows us to give you 2 facials. The first one is to introduce you to the product, and the second is to make sure the product that you purchased today, you're in love with. It's working great. And I know today you don't want to be here for hours and hours to try everything. So we're going to get together another time so you can try more product. Okay. Get sold on the way Mary Kay really made that to be. We always book, sell, rebook, and then share. Okay. So rebooking has always been great for me. I always rebook an appointment. When I rebook an appointment, then I give them the option. Would you like to have that one-on-one or would you like to have that with friends? Okay. Here's your options. Here's the opportunities. If it's one-on-one, then I'm going to meet with them in their house one-on-one, or I might invite them to the studio and I might invite a couple of other one-on-one people. And I'm going to do 3 at once, one-on-one. Okay. Even though I had 3 there Thursday night, I still gave them like really a lot of attention. They were having so much fun together. And so don't be afraid to do that. So I think rebooking for me has been really where my fortune is, because I never really had to worry about not having leads. I just became a master at rebooking using their nomination list as their guest list. And that's just what I've done. And therefore, I've never really had to reach out and ask for people I don't know. That's what I'm not even good at, because I don't do that. But I realize if you move to a new area, or if you don't know that many people, or if you're out of bookings and you need to lead generate, there's a time for you to do that. Okay. So those are some ideas. One thing I do want to say before we close up is that the 21-day booking approach is one of my favorite, and I feel like most successful messaging approaches. And basically what that means is you start with 10 people or 20 people, however many people you're starting out with, and you're messaging them initially for the initial appointment. And then 3 days later, you're following up. If you don't hear back from them, then 3 days later, you're checking in with them again. All right. If you still don't hear from them, then you're checking in with them 3 days later. And then if you don't hear back from them every 3 days, every 3 or 4, 2 to 4 days, you're checking back in with them until you have messaged them 8 times. Now, if you come to me as your director and you say, I've not heard from this girl and I've messaged her 5 times, I'm going to say message her 8, and then you can throw her away. Okay. Now, I'm not going to say that I do that, because I don't. I get tired before 8. So don't do as I do as I say. But I'm like, I get annoyed by people. I'm just like, and I know the fortune is in the 8th time. So if you ask me my opinion and I'm coaching you, I'm going to tell you to message them 8 times. Now, I don't always do that. Therefore, I probably miss out on some of that. But there are some times that I do. Okay. But that's what statistics show, is that you have to message them 8 times. 80% of the sales or the bookings come after the 8th time. So that's a little bit of that. But really, in general, every 3 days, you want to message people. If you have messaged them by phone a couple of times, okay, um, and you haven't heard back from them, if you have another form of communication, like you have an email or you have Facebook Messenger or, the good old phone call, that is best. If you can call them, give them a call. Okay. Give them a call, leave a message, and then message them. Hey, I just left you a message. I'd love to hear back from you. And I just recently messaged people for the third or fourth time this last week. And I did have some people message me back and say they weren't interested. And I was like, thank you so much. I'll take you off my list. If something changes, just let me know. Have a great day. And they were like, I will, thank you. And they were so nice about it. And I think they expected me to not be nice. And so that's just really important, is that you respond with respect. And, they just don't know what they're missing. And so just remember that this is not really like a personal thing. So don't take it personally, because that's not what this is. Okay, Elisa says, I'm just going to say I have to do that at work, and after we don't get through, or they say they're not interested at this point, we put them out 6 months. Yeah. Right. I know a lot of people that have to do that for sure. Okay. Who has questions? Anyone have questions? Janine, what's the homework? Well, guess what? The homework is booking attempts. Booking attempts. Okay. So, what I'd like to know from you tonight or tomorrow, I want you to message me and say, my booking attempts goal this week is, okay, what is your booking attempts goal? And what are you going to do to get those bookings? Do you have people you're already working with that you just need to reach out to? Or do you need new leads? Like, if you don't have any bookings, then maybe your goal is just to get some names. How are you going to do that? Are you going to hand out goodie bags? Are you going to do birthday things for, social media? Are you going to get nominations? How are you going to do that? So, are you going to get leads? Are you going to do booking attempts? What is your goal? What you're kind of coming up with your own homework assignment. Okay. But I need to know tonight or tomorrow to count, so that I can know what your goal is by the end of the week. So if that's 10, great. If it's 20, great. If it's 5 a day, great. Whatever. What is your booking attempts goal or your lead goal? Like, I'm going to get 10 new leads this week, or I'm going to get whatever. Okay. So let me know tonight or tomorrow what your goal is for the week.